With Ellen in her ear, Meghan said, "I have healing powers," as she touched several crystals at the market. After placing the crystal down, she looked at the hot sauces and said, "Mumma loves hot sauce." Meghan went on to try the sauces and ate it like a chipmunk, saying, "Mumma wants some heat." She was seen drinking some of the hot sauces out of a baby bottle in the stunt as stunned onlookers stared on. Elsewhere, Meghan teased adorable new images of her son, Archie. Donning adorable yellow boots, Archie is dressed casually in blue jeans and a grey long-sleeved t-shirt. The couples were dressed up incognito in post-apocalyptic costumes. "You got to go to a Halloween party," Meghan said. "We did. He came to see me in Toronto, and our friends and his cousin Eugenie, and how her husband Jack, they came as well. The four of us snuck out in Halloween costumes to just have one fun night out on the town before it was out in the world that we were a couple." Ellen asked, "So you went with Harry to a Halloween party and they had no idea it was the two of you?" Meghan stated, "No. It was a post-apocalypse theme, so we had all these very bizarre costumes on. We were able to just have one final fun night out." The conversation then turned to Halloween this year for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Ellen said, "We kept saying this Halloween, this is your chance, you can go out and dress up. But you chose to stay home this year." Meghan added, "We stayed home. We wanted to do something fun for the kids, but they were not into it at all. Archie was a dinosaur for maybe 5 minutes. Lili was a skunk." Meghan Markle and Prince Harry enjoyed 5 months of dating in secret before the news broke. They stepped down as senior royals in 2020, and relocated their family to California. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex settled in Montecito with their son Archie Harrison earlier this year, and later welcomed their daughter, Lilibet Diana, in June. Minds said, "I think we have a very different impression of Meghan on this side of the Atlantic. We admire the fact she's been incredibly outspoken about issues of gender, of race, of family. Right now, she's been very vocal about paid family leave, which is a very real issue in the US. She and Harry have made appearances on behalf of veterans here in the US." She continued, "They're greatly admired, they're considered very savvy and charismatic, very good at talking with the press, obviously. But also very caring. Their philanthropic work is something they seem to care a great deal about, they speak on behalf of issues that benefit from their platform." Ms. Mainzer was discussing Meghan's upcoming appearance in the Ellen DeGeneres show later this week, during which the Duchess discussed the struggles she faced in her early acting career. The US commentator said, "This isn't her first time at the rodeo, she knows how to have these kinds of conversations, how to be bubbly. How to talk about issues she cares about, but also be very much a regular person and tell stories like that where she drove a junker like so many other people in the world. It's great to see also because her previous appearances over the last year have been quite painful, and she's been talking about a lot of issues that are important but also that would cause anybody a great deal of pain. The racism, the misogyny, and so on. So just to see her here, happy, bubbly, is such a terrific treat." Meghan will be appearing on The Ellen Show on Thursday, 8 months after the Duchess appeared in a controversial sit-down with Oprah Winfrey which left the royal family in crisis. Ellen DeGeneres, who is a friend of the couple and lives near the Sussexes in Montecito, asked what Prince Harry loves about California. Meghan replied, "We're just happy." DeGeneres said of the Sussexes' 5-month-old daughter, "Lily's now teething." Meghan put her hands to her mouth, saying anything to relieve that. Speaking on Sunrise, the panel discussed Meghan's latest battle with Associated Newspapers and its appeal process. The presenters remarked a lot of dirty laundry was being aired, with Ms. Mollard invited to give the lowdown on events. She told the program, "Look, I think that there's a massive twist. I mean, some commentators are saying that this is really the end of Meghan's credibility." Radio presenter Christo Forfas appeared on Jeremy Vine on 5 and argued the Sussexes are allegedly losing their credibility day after day. Ms. Mollard continued, So what's happened is we know that Mail on Sunday has challenged the court ruling that they breached her privacy. There's new text messages between her and her former communications secretary which show two things. One, that she contributed to the Finding Freedom book, and secondly that she asked her communications secretary to help her write the letter she wrote to her father, which is the basis of this case. Ms. Mollett added Meghan was concerned the letter would be leaked, so edited the language used to pull at the heartstrings if made public. The Australian reporter said it was very manipulative to write to her father knowing it may be made public. Ms. Mollett theorized Meghan TMS ratings were likely very low at the moment, and said it was not what the Queen would like to see as she rests due to health issues. Women's rights activist Dr. Shola Mos-Shogbamimu defended Meghan, and said it made zero difference to the privacy claim that she won. Writing in The Independent, she said, "The question in the latest faux outrage about Meghan is not whether she loses credibility for not informing the High Court that her former Comms Secretary, Jason Knauf, provided some information for the unauthorized biography, Finding Freedom, to authors Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand, with her knowledge. No, the only question is whether this would have made a difference to the outcome of the privacy claim she won against Associated Newspapers Limited, publisher of the Mail on Sunday. The fact is it should make zero difference." Associated Newspapers launched an appeal against the High Court TMS summary judgment on Meghan Markle TMS privacy case against them. It meant the case did not go to full trial, which would have allowed the publishers to get into the nuances of their case. However, during their appeal process, a former aide to the Sussexes, Jason Knauf, testified that he was given permission to brief the authors of Finding Freedom. The Sussexes have repeatedly stated they had nothing to do with the book and have tried to distance themselves from it. Mr. Knauf also showed messages which saw Meghan asking if she should edit her language in a letter written to her father, expecting it to be leaked. Associated Newspapers claim Meghan wrote the letter accepting the public would read it and therefore had no issue of it being made public. Meghan apologized to the court following the testimony and claims she forgot about briefing her staff. Speaking to Sky News, Calvin Robinson said it was absolutely shocking that the couple continues to use their titles, despite being political. He said, "We saw, only this week, they were at an event and they introduced themselves as royalty. The royal family need to say, if you TMR going to be political, if you TMR going to keep selling yourselves to Netflix and Disney and all of the Hollywood industry, you need to take away the titles trademark. It TMS not just a British institution, it TMS a global institution. I think we TMR all being pulled down by Meghan Markle TMS plan to become the most famous princess in the world." When Meghan and Harry stepped back from royal duties at the start of last year, the agreement with the Queen was that the couple would formally retain their titles but they would no longer use their HRH titles. Asked, should the couple use their royal titles for business or political purposes? 73% in the UK and 59% in the US said they should stop. However, in Britain, people were divided when asked whether the couple should be able to keep their titles. Almost half of UK respondents, 48%, believe the couple should be stripped of their titles compared to a third, 33%, in the US. Earlier this month, the Duchess of Sussex faced controversy after she used her royal title to sign off a letter to Congress, lobbying them for paid parental leave. In her overtly political letter, she said, "No family should have to choose between earning a living and having the freedom to take care of their child, or a loved one, or themselves, as we would see with a comprehensive paid leave plan. In taking care of your child, you take care of your community, and you take care of your country, because when paid leave is a right, we TM creating a foundation that helps address mental health outcomes, health care costs, and economic strength at the starting line. Instead, as it stands now, we spend a fortune as a country paying into symptoms rather than causes. Paid leave should be a national right, rather than a patchwork option limited to those whose employers have policies in place, or those who live in one of the few states where a leave program exists." If we TM going to create a new era of family-first policies, let TMS make sure that includes a strong paid leave program for every American that TMS guaranteed, accessible, and encouraged without stigma or penalty. She also drew criticism for using her royal title when making a series of cold calls to US politicians to lobby for the policy. Meanwhile, earlier in November, the 40-year-old royal was mocked on social media for introducing herself with her name and her title at a children's book reading. Introducing herself, she said, "I am Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and today I am going to read you my book called The Bench." However, the Duchess has defended her decision to lobby for paid parental leave, describing it as a humanitarian issue. Speaking at a New York Times event, she said, "There TMS certainly a precedent amongst my husband TMS family and the royal family of not having any involvement in politics but paid leave, from my standpoint, is a humanitarian issue. My husband has always said, with great privilege comes great responsibility, but even before I had any sort of privilege in my life, when my life and my lifestyle were very different, I always stood up for what TMS right," she added.